The Big 12 announced their scheduling plan for the upcoming season. This is what they're doing. They moved to a +1 model. So schools are going to play 9 conference games in addition to 1 out of the conference, and that's their plan right now for the 2020 season. So as we sort of try and look at how the Power 5 conferences are all handling schedule formats this season, this is what we know as of this moment. The ACC and the Big 12 are allowing non-conference games. The Big 10, the Pac-12, and the SEC will play strictly conference-only schedules. It's very hard to keep track of all of this. We have basically given Heather Dinich the job of doing it for us, and she joins us here along with Paul Finebaum. And so, Heather, let's go to that from the Big 12 yesterday. What can you tell us about this decision, and what does it mean?
Well, Big 12 Commissioner Bob Bowlesby has been telling me for weeks that he expects disruptions to this season because of the coronavirus pandemic. And this scheduling model, they hope, will provide the flexibility to adjust to any disruptions that happen. This allows them to be able to push back their conference title game to either December 12th or December 19th. But, Greeny, it's also a reaction to games they lost from other conferences. And remember, we're not going to see West Virginia, Florida State. We're not going to see Texas, LSU. We're going to be missing out on Oklahoma, Tennessee, all games that would have helped provide clarity in the college football playoff race. So all of those things combined factored into this decision as that being the preferred model.
And that flexibility, is that based on the possibility of having to skip a week here or there? Skip is not the word I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. If they have to shut down here or there, you extending rather than compressing actually does make sense to me from that standpoint. Is that the thinking?
Right. You need some bye weeks to provide some cushion. I mean, look, Michigan State earlier last month, I should say, shut down. And when you do that, or when you have positive tests, you're talking about 2 weeks. You're talking about 2 Saturdays, 2 football games that you have to react to. So these schedules, not just for the Big 12, but for every Power 5 conference, have to take that into consideration. You're not just missing 1 Saturday. If you're a team that's quarantined, you're going to be missing 2.
So, Paul, what do you think of this? I mean, as of now, Oklahoma is still set for a potential Week 0 game. What does that look like to you?
Yeah, Greeny, it's hard for me to believe that they'll start that early. And if they do, it just shows a disconnect, obviously, in college athletics, where you would have the Big 12, as it stands right now, playing on August 28th, and then the SEC and the Pac-12, and maybe even the Big 10, they'll announce today, not starting until September 26th. Why would 3 or 4 conferences not think it's safe to start until late September, while the Big 12 thinks it's okay to start in under a month? I mean, it's beyond me, but then again, Greeny, it's hard to be shocked anymore in following college football.
I get that part of it. What reaction are you hearing? You talk to more people about this probably every day than anybody I know. What reaction are you hearing to all of this?
Well, I do not believe that the Big 12 will start that early. That's what I'm hearing from people inside. They just don't believe that the Big 12 will be that brazen to go ahead and start in 2.5, 3 weeks while this virus continues to rage out of control with college football as a structure with no rhyme or reason to deal with it other than to try to patchwork along the way. So that's my guess, and we'll see very soon. But we very well may see, if it stays, the Big 12 start August 28th. The ACC starting after September 7th. That was their original announcement. The Big 10 and then the Pac-12 and the SEC all starting at the end of the month. The idea that 5 conferences could start on 5 different weekends, separated by 4 weeks, plus some of the secondary conferences just going ahead and play so they can make money. It's incomprehensible to think that will happen, but as of this moment, it is going to happen.
And then very quickly, Heather, the other thing we watched today, the NCAA Board of Governors is set to meet to talk about their fall championships. What does that mean?
Well, I think that it's possible that they punt on the decision whether or not to cancel fall sports for their 22 Division I, but I think maybe we could see an answer regarding Division II or Division III fall championships. I know that the Football Oversight Committee, their stance remains the same. They want that decision pushed back because it'll have a domino effect on every sport.
What do you think, Paul? How does that look to you?
Again, the idea that Division II and III today are probably going to kick football to the spring while they still can't make up their mind on Division I. I mean, Greeny, that's so easy to read. It's about money. It's about money, money, money. And it is such a bad optical look for college football. But they don't care. They're moving right ahead. And today is going to be one of the seminal days of the summer.
Yeah, that is. It's important to keep an eye on. Heather will be covering it for us. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Guys, thank you very much. This is important stuff, and a lot of decisions could be made by the end of this day. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.